So I'm going to go ahead and disappear, and we're going to just enjoy this press conference. Let's get this off screen. We don't need that there.
Big press conference. Today we are joined by Fnatic Boaster, TL Scream, Crew Klaus, and OpTic Yay. Press had the option to ask questions live or submit them in absentia ahead of the event. We will begin with pre-submitted questions. First question goes to Klaus from Juked GG. How does it feel to keep up a fantastic land streak with Crew? Many teams haven't been able to be as consistent as yours.
Creo que se siente muy bien llegar a este punto de la última LAN, lo que fue el Champions, y ahora a darlo mejor y intentar sacar un mejor puesto, llegar por lo menos apuntamos a semifinales o final o mismo campeones.
I believe that it feels really good to be to this point in LAN events, especially in last Champions. We are right now aiming at getting the same or even higher, even semifinals, or maybe even taking on the championship.
Thank you. Next question goes to Scream from Valorant Info. Scream, which team do you see as the tournament favorite?
I think like OpTic and Fnatic probably. Like at Champions, OpTic was one of the, in my opinion, the best team there. So they had like unfortunate conditions, but I think they can do a lot of damage here. And same for Fnatic. I think they're one of the best like strategic team because they have Boaster. No, honestly, like I think they play really well together, and like I think these two teams are very dangerous this event.
Awesome, thank you. Next question also for Scream from the Spike GG. Although Liquid placed fourth at the EMEA Challengers, you were granted a spot due to the issues with FPX traveling to Iceland. What were the team's initial reactions to this news? How do you plan on capitalizing this opportunity despite the recent losses both in groups and playoff stages?
Yeah, we've had like a kind of a slump after Champions. You know, our preparation was not the best. We tried a lot of stuff, and I mean, I can only be happy with the qualifying here. Obviously, very sad for FPX. They're one of the teams that always deserve like, a top tier like tournament. I mean, they showed really good stuff. And, yeah, I mean, their time will come. I'm pretty sure about it. But today we're gonna take advantage of this. Basically, show people we're still here.
Next question is for Ye from Juked. Hydro H2O from Juked for Ye. What was your first reaction when you learned that Envy Val was rebranding to OpTic?
I would say it's a pretty exciting moment for me personally, at least, because like OpTic, at least from the Call of Duty scene, was what brought me into esports. And over kind of like the past few years, they've been struggling a little bit in terms of like, you know, the infinite accusation and just in general, like the whole brand. So I was really excited that I could come in and also help kind of like rebuild it to what it once was and hopefully inspire, you know, someone else like the original OpTic guys inspired me. So.
Thank you. Next question goes to Boaster from the Spike GG. Will Durka be playing the first match on Monday? If yes, will Hyber be staying with you for the whole tournament?
First of all, thank you for the question. Yeah, we're looking to hopefully bring in Durka for the first game. So we're going to be coming out guns blazing. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a bit chilly in here. My balls have shrunk. You know what I mean?
Thank you for that. Next question goes to Klaus from FD News. Being the only team that is qualified for every international tournament, does it put more pressure on the team?
No.
Okay, thank you. Next question goes to Scream from Run It Back. Do you feel Team Liquid has more to prove at this tournament than anyone else, having qualified simply because FPX could not attend?
Yeah, in a sense, yes, I would say so. Like we still gonna give everything. Like I think we haven't showed like our full potential, and yeah, definitely like we're here to win.
Next question goes to Boaster from The Clutch. How do you see this debut versus Ninjas in Pajamas match? And what do you think of the Brazilian team?
First of all, thank you for the question. Yeah, I think we've never actually played against a Brazilian team. We have played them in scrims of like at previous events, so I'm looking forward to it. I have not many expectations for the NIP game. I'm just kind of gonna go watch their VODs, just kind of prepare as I always do for any other team, really. And I'm obviously there's gonna be respect and not gonna underestimate them. And hopefully we get the win, and then we get the next win, and the next one, and we would lift the trophy. Woohoo!
Okay, next question goes to Ye from Dexerto. With EMEA teams affected by external circumstances, is NA entering this event as the strongest region?
Honestly, it's hard to say because obviously G2 and even like Liquid have always looked traditionally really strong. And even when you watch the EMEA games, it's hard to say like if there's like a team that really stands above the rest. They all play each other fairly often and pretty equally, and the games can really go like either way. So it's hard to say if they're like a stronger region right now, but definitely I would say like some of the teams here are affected by outside circumstances, but sometimes that's how it is, and we'll do our best regardless. So
Thank you. Next question goes to Klaus from the Spike GG. Your team shocked the world at the Champions event, making a statement to never underestimate a team that has made it so far despite the region it originates from. Going into the Masters event, how confident do you feel about being able to repeat history again?
Creo que estamos bastante confiados después de lo que demostramos en el Champions. Creo que fue un gran paso para nosotros, tanto como individualmente, como equipo, pudimos madurar como jugadores, como mismo equipo, conseguimos más experiencia y clasificar a todos los torneos LANes que clasificamos hasta el día de hoy, creo que fue muy importante para llegar a lo que fue el Champions y muy importante para lo que se viene en este torneo.
I believe that we are really confident after proving ourselves in Champions. It was a great step as individuals and also as a team. We have really grown up together. We have gained a lot of experience, and qualifying to all of the LAN events so far has been really important for us and for our previous Champions experience, and right now for this tournament.
Thank you. Next question is for Boaster from Run It Back. Regarding the forced roster changes heading into the event, how well has Fearoth meshed with the team, and how has preparation changed now that Durka is back in action?
First of all, thank you for the question. Yeah, I think Fearoth being a kind of ex-IGL, he's super smart. He's blended in quite well with the team, to be fair. He's coming up with ideas. Sometimes he actually shows better leadership than I do, and I'm like, what the hell? This guy's stealing my thunder. But no, I think yeah, we've just kind of been going over the basics, really making sure the comms are up, like the trading, the peaking together, and that's kind of all we can do. And then throw in some nice util, and we'll be coming to your bomb site, spike site. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Next question is for Klaus from Run It Back. Crew Esports has made every single international VCT event thus far. What will it take for the team to finally win one?
Can you repeat the last part?
Yes. Crew Esports has made every single international VCT event thus far. What will it take for the team to finally win one?
Creo que este es un gran momento para conseguir el campeonato entero, porque ya venimos de la experiencia del Champion, venimos con muchas cosas nuevas, venimos confiados de que no somos el mismo equipo de los anteriores eventos, mismo del Champions, entonces creo que es una muy buena oportunidad ahora mismo en este Master de Islandia.
I believe that right now is our best moment to gain the championship after our experience in Champions and obviously everything gained in previous tournaments. We are really confident that we are not the same team as before, and we are stronger now. And right now is our best opportunity to win it all.
Thank you. Next question goes to Scream from VALORANT News. What has been the most favorite moment or thing so far after your brother Nivera joined Liquid alongside you?
The best moment?
Yeah, best moment. Favorite moment.
Favorite moment. Probably when we qualified for champions, because it was last chance qualifier and it was very tough, like very big teams in EMEA to beat, and we did it. So with no practice, so it was really amazing feeling.
Thank you. Next question is for Boaster from Captain Beans on the Juked app. Since there wasn't much time between the roster changes and Masters, was it hard for you or the new players to get used to working around a new team/system?
First of all, thank you for the question. Was it hard? Yeah, I'd say so. It was pretty hard. We haven't had a lot of days. I think only 8 or 9 days to really get Feroth on board. But he's a super smart player, and honestly, it's actually helped myself and Coach Minnie kind of bring back the basics and really like re-roll to kind of improve in that way. You know, like we used to be all about like the flashy executes utility flying in, but we often kind of lacked in these kind of mid-round and kind of playing together almost. It was almost like we're a little bit of robots running around the map, like, let's do this because Boaster says so. So having Feroth back really helped us to kind of get back on that, like to work on that side of the thing. So yeah, I think I'm not gonna lie, we're looking pretty spicy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about you guys, but we're not too bad right now. We're not too bad. I had good scrims today. Good scrims for once, you know. We're losing a week, you know. No, I'm just...
Thank you. Next question goes to Ye from the Spike GG. 2 different team names, same rosters. Envy versus X10 is not a happy memory. How do you feel going against them, Xerxia, in your opening match?
It's pretty exciting to get like a rematch against them, because obviously we got knocked out by them at Champions, and now that we've gone back, reflected, and also Victor's healthy now, so I'm really looking forward to replaying them, and I'm really hoping it'll be a really good game. Ultimately, it sucks that we can't go against their original roster because obviously I think it's Palpatine who left, but I mean, even with Surf, they're still looking pretty good. So I'm hoping it'll be a really good match.
Thank you. Next question goes to Klaus from Juked GG. Who do you think is the most underrated player here at Masters or in LATAM?
Creo que Trent es muy underrated ahora mismo en el torneo. Creo que es el que más puede crecer y el que menos mostró hasta ahora, pero es el que más fe le tengo.
I believe that Trent is the most infravalorated player in this tournament. He has a lot of room to grow, and I believe he hasn't shown his full potential yet.
Thank you. Next question goes to Scream from Valorant Info. Scream, what team would you support if you never made it to Masters Reykjavik?
EMEA teams, Fnatic, G2, obviously. I mean, they have a pretty good chance to win this tournament as well. Like EMEA is, in my opinion, still the best region right now. But we're gonna figure it out after this event.
Thank you. Next question goes to Klaus. What do you think about the group where the team is, and what are you and the team expecting in this first Masters of the year?
Creo que el equipo tiene un aire renovado después del último Champion y creo que sí, de alguna manera seguimos todos igual de focuseados, de concentrados en intentar ganar y llevarse y ser campeón.
I believe that the team has a new life in itself after Champions, and I also believe that we are still really focused and concentrated on winning it all and becoming the champions.
Thank you. This is the final pre-submitted question. It goes to Ye from Upcomer. If you had to pick a team that you're excited to face, which one and why?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would say a lot of the EMEA teams, because we really haven't got the chance to play like a lot of them. The only 2 that we played were Gambit and Ascend. So honestly, playing against them is always really, really fun, because I feel like stylistically they play the most similar to us. So I'm really looking forward to playing them essentially in a match setting.
Thank you. We will now open the floor for questions from remote media. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature if you would like to ask a question, and we will call you when it is your turn. One moment, please.
I got a question for you boys. Do you heckin' love tens?
Okay, first question from Ominous at Run It Back.
Hi, my question is for Ye. Going into this tournament, statistically, you are the best chamber player in terms of ACS, ADR. But on the other hand, the EMEA teams don't use chamber all that much. So, what do you think of that, and how will these clash of these metas turn out to be?
It's hard to say because again, we haven't played him in a match yet, but I feel with Chamber, I feel like he's a little bit underrated by other regions, at least right now. And maybe it also another reason we use Chamber is because like it fits our team pretty well in terms of like, you know, our player strengths. So I think going into this tournament, you might see a lot of value coming out of Chamber, and maybe it'll get picked more. You never know. So
Thank you. Next question is from Blake at Esports GG.
Thanks for taking our questions, guys. This is for anyone who's willing to answer. With the new format and teams getting a direct pass to playoffs, do you guys like this change? And I know, you guys specifically weren't informed of it before you played in the grand finals. Does that affect you guys? Or how did that affect you guys in that moment and moving forward?
I'd say I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of like people being seeded directly in the playoffs. I kind of almost favored them getting like a higher seeding inside groups and still playing through the whole group format. But in terms of how it affected us when in the grand finals, I feel like for our players and even myself, is sometimes, you know, if you get like a massive benefit like going in, like you play like a lot harder. Not to say we didn't play like our hardest, but it's kind of like it's like a psychology thing almost, where it's like, oh, you're playing for something like a lot, you know, more, so it requires more out of you almost. So if we had known beforehand, I feel like maybe we could have kicked it up extra gear. So never know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from Mike C at Upcomer.
Hi, this is definitely towards Ye. Obviously, in terms of NA, the three teams that made it to champions last year, you were the only team to come back, at least to the next international tournament. Do you feel, what do you think, what do you feel are like honest expectations for your team in this tournament?
Honest expectations. I guess the expectation is the try and win, but ultimately, like, you know, sometimes it doesn't turn out that way, right? So coming into this, our hope is like after, you know, we got to the grand finals at the first Berlin, we had some unfortunate circumstances in the second, but ideally is like we finally bring home an international trophy. You know, we really want to do that, and also show like NA is still a strong region as well, because you know, last few times it's been kind of like a downhill hill, and we want to turn that around, and we've been working really hard towards that. So we're hoping to show that and also make all our fans back home proud. So
I'm gonna try and ask a question.
Thank you. Next question is from Amin at Valorant News.
Why am I so nervous, y'all?
Amin at Valorant News.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to unmute. Hello, this is a more generic question to all four of you. Do you personally like where the game is going, where the game is headed right now? As we're talking balance changes, game plan changes, and such. Do you personally like them, or the approach the Riot is doing?
Yeah, definitely. Like that's my answer, at least. Like for us, especially for Astra, I think Astra was like one of the hardest agents to play against, even though they nerfed it a little bit before, but now it's really hard to play it, even though some teams still play it. But overall, I'm really happy with the way Riot is handling and asking the feedbacks from players and stuff. So yeah.
Thank you. Next question is from Lisandro from Radio Nacional.
Good afternoon. My question is for Klaus, and I want to say that Crws Esports finished top 4 in Champions and is still the only one in LATAM. What do you think of your rematch against Liquid and all of the group that has Crew?
Creo que va a ser un match muy importante contra Liquid porque no fue nuestra mejores versiones la que mostramos contra Liquid. Totalmente no, las veces que jugamos contra Liquid no éramos nosotros, por así decirlo. Entonces creo que esta vez va a ser diferente.
Thank you.
I believe that it's a really important match for us because we haven't really played our best version neither at Champions or at previous tournaments against them, and we really weren't ourselves. But I believe that this time it'll all be different.
Thank you. Next question from George at Esports.
Hello, you beautiful men. I have a question for Boaster. Now that Vanity isn't here, because obviously, Cloud9 didn't make it because they suck, who are you most looking forward to hanging out with at the event?
First of all, thank you for the question. However, Cloud9 do not suck, my man. They are a good team, and it was just unfortunate in the way they kind of lost. But who am I most looking forward to meet? I don't know. ZETA, because Laz, I wanted to meet him, but I met him today in the reception, so that was kind of cool. Who else? I mean, the guard, they've had rumors in NA and, like everyone's hyping them. And then they ended up qualifying as well with all that hype. So it'd be nice to meet them in the lobby. Valen's been tweeting at me, like saying, like, get on the rank grinds, but I haven't been able to with him. So maybe meeting them like in the reception. Or do you mean like in real life, or do you mean in the game? I don't know. Like if it was in real life, anyway,
because obviously
everyone.
Vanity's very beautiful. So, is there anyone else?
Oh, I see. Oh, no, there's no cheating going on here, mate. I'm a loyal boyfriend here. But yeah,
that's a shame.
Thank you. Next question is from Miguel at Código Esports.
Hi, this question is specifically for Klaus. The last VCT, you were like the surprise team. How is your mentality compared to that last VCT now that you prove yourself to be such an amazing team and great results?
Estamos más confiados en ese sentido, que creo yo que pudimos dar ese paso que no pudimos haber dado en los otros torneos y lo pudimos dar en el Champions, de pasar al playoff y ganarle un Tier 1, después llegar a las semifinales, estar muy cerca de la final. Creo que eso nos dio mucha confianza para el día de hoy y ganar este torneo.
Thank you.
We are pretty confident in ourselves. I believe that making that leap that we did on Champions, that we haven't made it before, of passing through the playoffs and beating a Tier 1 team and almost getting to the finals, we are really confident in this tournament and we want to win it all.
Thank you. Next question is from Ben at Juked.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for the chance to ask a question here. On behalf of Overflow from the Juke community, this is to Boaster and anyone who wants to jump in. What do you think the biggest differences or clashes between metas from different regions is?
First of all, thank you for the question. The biggest, I think it's similar to what Ye said earlier with the chamber. For instance, EMEA haven't really been running chamber as much. Whereas obviously NA, as soon as it came out, they really hopped on that kind of bandwagon. And it could be the same with well, NA we got to see first when the patch update what kind of comp shift they made straight away. And then we were able to kind of analyze and see kind of, oh yeah, we kind of see that, oh we don't see that. And then we made our own decisions off of that, I guess. When it came to like APAC regions and like Korea and whatnot, I think their comps are slowly being kind of, we've all been kind of merging towards the same gist of the comps. So we're all getting there. We're all learning from each other. There are some through like there are a few curveballs out there, Liquid coming up with some snazzy comps occasionally, aren't you boys?
You guys are not ready, man. Trust me.
Ooh.
Any NA perspective there?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, I think Neon and Yoru are actually pretty strong agents right now, but the only thing with them is kind of like a similar situation when Viper was kind of released. It takes a while and a lot of work in order to actually to essentially get to a point in which it fits well with the team, and also figure it out. Because I don't know, when a lot of people don't run like some of these agents, it's like you don't get to see like a lot of different perspectives on what's best and like how it works. So I think in the future you're going to see a lot more of Neon and Yoru, and I think it'll start to shift more towards there.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. We'll take one final question from Average Jonas.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jonas. I like to shoot arrows into the sky and hope it hits someone. I have a question for Scream. Do you think that the lack of form that the team has shown in the past makes it an advantage for you to be a lower seed so you get more matches before possibly going into the playoffs?
Yeah, that's a very nice question, man. Thank you for the question, brother. I do think you're right. I think playing more games on stage compared to the people who are in playoffs already makes a big advantage, I think, in my opinion. So yeah, we will take advantage of this situation definitely. And like we already experienced the stage in Iceland, in Berlin. So like even though we were in a slump recently, I think honestly, like yeah, it's been a really, really bad time for us. And like yeah, I can't wait to show people, actually what we are capable of. And if it's not at this event, it's gonna be at the next one. And like yeah, we are very hungry, and I think we have everything that takes. And like yeah, people might be surprised with like our comps and the way we play and the momentum. Like we are very, very momentum based, so it's gonna be interesting, especially against Crew. I really hope so. I hope so. They they have a kind of a mental break against us, mental block, and I hope they remove this so we can actually have a good game against us.
Thank you. Good luck to everybody.
Klaus?
How not out.
All right. Thank you very much. This concludes the first press conference. Thank you to all the pros who joined us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for later as well. And we will be back with our next press conference shortly.
Well, that was cool. I enjoyed that. That was great. Yeah, there's a whole nother press conference coming in a second here. I don't know why we swapped to this other view. I could see these people. Why can't I pin this? Whatever. There we go. There we go. Oh, hey, it's Anton. I know that guy. He's the head of PR for VALORANT esports. Why are all the upcomer journalists weird? No offense, guys. Much love. I'm like paranoid that I forgot to mute myself in the main stream. I'm like, oh god, did I just say that to everyone? I did not. We are muted. We're still muted. Woo. Woo. Oh wait, George is .esports now, not upcomer. I forgot. Okay, I guess all journalists are just weird. Guess that's the answer. Mo, I got your question. I will try and ask it at the end if they, I mean, I'm assuming they will do more live questions. So I'll do my best to ask that when we get around to it. Hello. Hello. Any jukers in the chat? Juked merch when? We had some good conversations with some potential providers this week. I will say that. I wouldn't say it's going to happen soon, just because, I mean, I'd love to say it's going to happen soon, but man, we are just so busy right now. It is non-stop. Supply chain issues, lol, probably. It's just like, we want to do everything, y'all. We want to, all the things that you want us to do, we want to do them too. We are just a very small team. We're trying our best. Oh, Anton almost ate it. Need a $1 billion investment? No. We don't need a billion. We just need a couple millies. You know, no biggie. Oh, Anton is just like rapid fire walking back and forth. Coming back and forth. Oh, there he goes again. Anton. Do we got an Anton count? Anton walk count? It's at least like 8. Oh, here it comes again. Oh. For a second, I thought they were putting like G Fuel cans out there. It's just coffee cups. Is there any liquid? I don't know. I assume there's like hot water or tea or something. Careful, Anton. Don't slip. It's treacherous out there. Press 1 in chat if you would buy some Juked merch. I need to know. Would you buy a sick Juked shirt or hat or I don't know, whatever else? This is just our super boring like logo. It's going to be cooler than this. I think. I don't know. We still need to figure out what the design is going to be. Will Juked one day be one day sponsor of some tournaments? Yeah. I mean, we have sponsored grassroots tournaments before, actually. We are a small startup, so we don't have like hundreds of thousands of dollars to sponsor, VCT. I wish we did. Hopefully we will eventually. And then Juked, everyone who follows esports will know about Juked, and it'll be amazing. We are not there yet. So we have done small tournament sponsorships. In fact, we are sponsors. Oh, this is a cute photo. We are sponsors of the Lady Spartan Halo tournament, a Halo tournament for women, female pro players. And that's been going on for a couple of weeks, and the grand finals will be coming up in a couple of weeks later. Yes, we have sponsored some small grassroots things. I would like to do more. It's just very expensive, and so that's why we've been really focused on grassroots stuff. We may host some of our own tournaments eventually. I know there's quite a bit of buzz about doing a Rocket League tournament for our community, so probably wouldn't have like a prize pool, but we would just do it for fun for the community. So that's coming up probably pretty soon. What do you think about Halo esports? I am not a Halo player myself, I have to say. So, but like when the game came out, everyone's like, this is the best Halo ever. It's finally the Halo we've always wanted. And then a month later, they're like, there's too many bugs and issues, and they're not building stuff fast enough. And then a month later, they're like, this game sucks. I hate it. It's the worst Halo ever. So, I don't know. It seems like they have been far too slow to update and add content. And that seems to be the biggest problem. But then you have guys like, what's his name? Why am I forgetting his name? The Halo Pro, who is also an Apex Pro. Who's saying like this Halo is like the worst Halo ever, which I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know the real answer. But snipe down, right? Snipe down. I really, truly hope that they can get back to where they were in terms of hype like 3 months ago. We'll see. HCS Kansas City is coming up in just a couple of days, really. And I think the hype will be back for that event. I think we'll see six figures. I think we'll see 100K.
Hello again, everyone.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to the Pre-Masters Reykjavik press conference. Today,
mute
we're
myself.
joined by Xerxia Crws, ZETA and DRX Stax. We will begin with press had the option to ask questions live or submit them in absentia ahead of the event. We will begin with pre-submitted questions. First question goes to Crws from the Spike GG. Following the departure of Patifan to the Overwatch scene, Surf joined the team and is enjoying similar success. How confident are you in his abilities and the potential for your roster in the tournament?
To be honest, we're actually always confident, no matter who's playing the game, because we trust in all of our teammates, because like the four of us have the experience, but the path to come to Masters was already hard and we made it. So we're confident that everyone in our team is capable of bringing success back to APAC.
Thank you. Next question is for Stax from Starve the Beast from Jute. If you could switch places with one of your teammates for a day, who would it be?
네, 스택 선수 팀원들 중에 한 명과 자리를 바꿀 수 있다면, 그러니까 본인이 그 사람이 될 수 있다면 그게 누가 될 거고 왜인가요?
그러니까 자리 그냥 라인업이 바뀐다는 거?
역할이라고 이해하면 될 것 같아요.
RB?
Why?
I don't know. 그냥 해보고 싶다.
I think I would pick RB. I think there's no particular reason, but I just want to try it out as a duelist.
Thank you. Next question goes to Laz from the Spike GG. ZETA preferred to not attend last year's APAC Last Chance qualifier for champions in order to rebuild a new roster. With the rebuild done, what do you think are the expectations for this new roster going into the event?
昨年の VCT の年末の LCQ を辞退されたと思いますが、今回ロスターが新しい、ロスターに変わって、その、期待値みたいなのはどのように考えていますか？
そうですね。まず3人新しいプレイヤーになって、彼らは世界大会の経験がないので、バロラントでですね。バロラントでの世界大会の経験がないので、いろいろ試しつつで、ちょっと未知数なところはあるんですけど、そのチームのポテンシャル、チームがうまくいくポテンシャルが本当に今まで感じたことがないぐらいうまくいってるなっていうのは感じてて、もう自分自身どこまでいけるのかっていうのは楽しみですね。ただ今までの成績で考えると、本当に一勝を取りたいっていうところにみんなフォーカスしてます。
So we have 3 new members in the team. These 3 members have not yet played in VALORANT International tournaments before, but we believe that this team has the biggest potential yet as the ZETA division. So we are excited as to what this new roster can bring for us. And our goal for this competition is definitely to at least win 1 match and move forward in the competition.
Thank you. Next question is for Stax. This question comes from the Spike GG. Your team's luck at international tournaments hasn't been great. What do you plan on doing differently to change the outcome this time?
과거 국제대회에서 DRX의 성적이 그렇게 좋지 않았어요. 그래서 이번 국제대회에서는 어떤 것을 바꿔서 또는 어떤 점들이 변했기 때문에 좋은 성적을 거둘 수 있을 거라고 생각하시나요?
저희가 이제 오더가 제가 아닌 이제 제스트로 바뀌고 나서 조금 더 보완이 됐다고 생각을 하고 이걸 토대로 중심적으로 나갈 생각이고, 네, 그게 끝입니다.
Yeah, it's a disappointment that our results weren't that great last year, but I think with this year with Zest coming back in as the IGL, I think our chances are greater, and we look forward to this tournament.
Thank you. Next question goes to Crws from Run It Back. Both teams have rebranded, OpTic from Team Envy and your team from X1. But it's a rematch from Champions to start the tournament. What are you looking forward to in that series against OpTic?
To be honest, I just hope we play a good game. And it's a good opportunity for us to actually replay them again. So we actually know where this rebuild from our team is at, our potential is at, and it's a good start for us to be able to play at one of the best teams so that we could have the mentality and the mindset going on to the next game.
Thank you. Next question goes to Stax from Run It Back. There are a lot of familiar faces when it comes to teams making it to previous international tournaments, but still a few new ones. Do you have any dream matches you'd like to see happen?
네, 이번 대회도 작년과 마찬가지로 반복적으로 국제대회 진출하는 팀들이 있는데요. 이번 대회에서만큼 꼭 이 팀이랑은 상대해보고 싶다라는 팀이 있으실까요?
일단은 첫 번째로 복수하기 위해서 프나틱을 선택하고 싶고, 두 번째로는 오랜만에 제타랑 만나보고 싶었습니다.
Right, so the first team that I really want to face is Fnatic, and that's to revenge them from our previous tournaments. And then the second team that I want to face is ZETA Division.
Thank you. And the final pre-submitted question goes to Stax from Captain Beans from the Juked App. Which teams have you been surprised by in scrims leading in Iceland?
네, 아이슬란드에서 스크림을 하시면서 가장 놀라웠던 성적을 보여준 아니면 놀라운 실력을 보여준 팀이 있다면 어느 팀이었나요?
저희 팀이 가장 놀라웠던 것은
I think our team's scrim results were the most surprising.
Okay, thank you. We will now open the floor for questions from remote media. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature if you'd like to ask a question, and we will call on you when it is your turn. First question from Ben at Juked. No worries. Average Jonas.
My hand was also still up. That was also an accident. Thank you.
Okay. Armando Prenza Esports.
I don't have questions in this moment. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Ominous at Run It Back.
Yeah, my question is for Stax. Obviously, there have been a lot of roster changes in DRX with RB and burst switching roles. So my question is that these changes worked regionally. Does you think that these changes will also work internationally at this tournament?
네, 이번 시즌에는 DRX에 많은 로스터 변화가 있었는데요. 뭐 킹 선수가 떠나는 것부터 해서 지금 현재 로스터 내에서는 버즈와 알비 선수의 어떤 역할 전환이 있었는데 지역 대회에서는 그 변화를 통해서 좋은 성적을 거뒀지만 그 변화가 국제 무대에서도 마찬가지로 좋은 성적을 가져다 둘지 어떻게 생각하고 계신가요?
일단은 해보지 않으면 모른다고 생각하기 때문에 일단은 조금 해보고, 저는 근데 바꾼 거에 대해서는 조금 거부감 없이 선수들이 다 잘 맡아주고 있기 때문에 그런 거는 이제 대회 내일부터 보시면 될 것 같아.
Personally, I don't really have any regrets, but I think we will never know until we actually play the games. I think you can find out by watching our match tomorrow.
Thank you. Next question comes from Lisandro at Radio National University.
Good afternoon. My question is for Stax. And what do you think about the group where the team is, and what are you expecting in this first Masters of the year?
네, 이번 대회 DRX가 속한 조에 대해서 어떻게 생각하고 계시고 이번 첫 번째 대회에 대해서 어떤 좀 기대를 하고 계신지 설명 부탁드리겠습니다.
일단은 지난번에 이제 세계 대회랑은 다르게 조금 조편성이 너무 좋게 나와서 이거는 무조건 이기고 가야 된다라는 생각이 많이 있고, 그리고 저희가 모든 대회에서 첫 번째 대회는 다 이겼기 때문에 그거를 이제 그대로 끌고 가서 내일도 이겨보도록 노력하겠습니다.
In comparison to our groups from last year's tournaments, I think this first Masters we had a very, advantageous group, and we were always able to win our very first match at every one of the global tournaments. So I think we want to continue that winning streak and look forward to tomorrow's match.
Thank you. Next question is from Hyungun Kim at FOMOS.
Thank you. I want to ask you two questions. First one is to Stax and second to Les. 먼저 구택 선수한테 질문 드릴게요. 개막전에서 만나고 싶었던 제타 디비전을 개막전에서 만나시게 됐어요. 이번 대회를 위해서 어떤 부분을 준비하실 건지에 대해서 답변 주시면 좋겠고요. 次の質問はラズ選手の方にお願いします。ラズ選手の方も隣の DRX と初めて試合をすることになりましたが、どのように準備してどのような試合をしたいなと思っているんでしょうかとの質問です。
일단은 오랜만에 만나는 상대기도 하고 오랜만에 만나기도 하고 제타 디비전을, 그리고 이제 저희가 딱히 제타 디비전 상대로 준비한 건 없고 그냥 어떤 팀을 저희가 상대하더라도 딱히 이렇게 준비를 하는 건 없는 스타일이기 때문에 그냥 저희 할 것만 잘하자는 마인드라서 뭐 딱히 준비한 건 없습니다.
We don't necessarily prepare for opponents, before every match. I think we tend to play our style as opposed to analyzing our opponents and playing to like a tailored match for our opponents. So I think if we just play our game, we can bring out a good result against ZETA Division.
そうですね。DRX が横にいる中で喋るのはなんかちょっと変な感じがするんですけど、彼らは本当に昔から本当にいいチームで、自分たちの目標であり、もう常に尊敬する対象であるチームであって、この舞台で戦えるというのはなんかすごい楽しみです。準備はもちろんいろいろするんですけど、自分たちのポテンシャルフルに出せる戦い方をしたいなと思ってます。
It's kind of weird to be talking about DRX. He's right beside me, but DRX has always been our goal as well as team of respect. We are very, very excited to be playing DRX on this global stage, and we have prepared a lot for this match, and so looking forward to the match tomorrow.
Thank you. Next question goes to Ben from Juked.
Hi. This question comes from Mo130 from the Juke community, and it's to Stax. What should we expect to be different with DRX stylistically after Champions, where there was potentially a slight lack of alternatives when when set plays kind of didn't go as planned potentially?
네, 과거 국제 무대에서는 어떤 세트 플레이가 제대로, 그러니까 계획대로 진행되지 않으면은 DRX라는 팀이 굉장히 어려워하고 경기를 풀어나가는데 좀 어려움 겪는 경우가 많았었는데요. 이번에는 어떻게 그걸 극복할 계획이신지 여쭤보고 싶네요.
제가 인게임 리더를 할 때는 일단은 작전이 거의 없었기 때문에 거의 상황별 대치로 조금 많이 했었어가지고 조금 그렇게 보일 수도 있는데, 그 이유는 이제 저희가 사이트를 진입할 때 이제 디테일이 없었기 때문에 그렇게 보였던 거고, 지금은 이제 제스 선수가 IGL을 맡게 되면서 작전 위주가 조금 더 많고 그런 게 조금 많다 보니까 그런 이제 세트 플레이가 안 됐다라는 느낌은 좀 없을 것 같아요.
Yeah, when you look back at last year's tournaments, when I was the IGL, we used to have a different style of play. So when I was the IGL, we didn't usually play from a set playbook, but we tended to act more, on the go and see what the opponents were doing. So this time around, actually, because we're with Zest, we tend to play out of a playbook. I don't think you will feel sort of our plays not working as well as last year. I think in comparison, it should be much more smoother, and we should be able to carry out our plans or execute much better than last year.
Thank you. Next question is from Blake at Esports GG.
Afternoon, guys. Thanks for joining us. This question's for Crws. You guys obviously have a new duelist with Surf. How do you think your form is now as compared to previous iterations of the team back at Champions?
To be honest, because he's a different jet player, I would say, and a new addition to the team. So the style's going to be a lot more different compared to what we used to play. And honestly, he is not as experienced as any other players in the team. But then he's just a kid, a young blood, and he's just here to play and have fun, I guess. So you wouldn't be... I don't think you can expect from a superstar play from him, but then he's gonna be actually in more of the playbook and the set plays and stuff like that. So he's just gonna do his best, and he's gonna learn and grow from the games we play here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Nigel at One Esports.
Hi guys, this is a question for Crws. I noticed that you guys often have this practice, you and your team have this practice of dyeing your hair before international lands. Could you share the story behind that?
At first, I didn't want to do it because my hair was bad already since the last event I put on. I don't know what color, I don't remember anymore. But then this one, I just thought maybe dye it pink, but then I didn't have enough money to fill my whole head, so it's only half. I was joking. So, I just wanted to look like my logo. That's all.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. And final question from Average Jonas.
Thank you. My question is for Crws. Setting aside the competitive aspect of an international tournament like this, how important do you think it is to exchange cultural interests between all the people and making friends across the borders?
I think it's actually one of the most important aspects for me coming into an international event because, like, we're from Thailand, to be honest. We don't really get to go to much of an event as big as this. So it's really good to be sitting beside like a Japanese player, a Korean player. I'm actually a big fan of all of them. And I like that we can exchange what we do, what we don't do, and then we learn from each other. I love it that we get to exchange a lot of that here, as well as in the previous events.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this concludes the pre-Masters Reykjavik press conference. Thank you to our players. Thank you to our translators. And thank you everyone who joined us today. Masters will kick off at 3 p.m. Sunday, April 1st with the first match between DRX and ZETA Division.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
That was excellent. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. I will probably chop this up and throw it up on our YouTube channel so we can get that sweet YouTube